We got Jack Fitzgerald on the here in studio with us. Jack, what's going on, young man?
Well, nothing really particular. I'm kind of watching what's going on here with the gun deal throughout the country.
Well, it's all about the gun deal, man. This whole debt limit stuff. We'll get into that soon too.
Okay,
that's taking a back seat to the gun stuff. So President Obama came up with 23 executive orders yesterday. He had the children around him and all this stuff, and
he did everything right.
See, in which way?
Well, I think that he's brought this issue. There's an awful lot of people that don't like to see these killings, and of course, as you know, 2 years ago we had it right here in Tucson, Arizona.
Sure. And
I think that it's a long time coming, and I don't happen to be an NRC member or anything like that. I'm an NRA member. And I've never been involved with it. That's neither here nor there. But there's an awful lot of killings, and a lot of people are wondering why these people are going around with submachine guns. And to me, I think they're weapons of mass destruction. And I was very happy to see the president do what he had to do. And
now we all want to stop and we can never stop 100% of these things. It's just crazy people are crazy people, and bad people are bad people.
Well, I'm not so sure that all these people are crazy either. I mean, Loeffner, everybody said he was crazy. I don't think he was so crazy. I think he may have been mixed up, but he certainly was conferring with Gabby Giffords. They were writing back and forth, and he may have...
So what makes you think he wasn't kind of a nutball?
Well, I think those guys...
Nutballs can have lucid conversations with people.
And a lot of people are brilliant in their own way, and they're very smart. They do stupid things, and of course he did... But remember, he
just didn't do a stupid thing. He did a diabolical thing.
He was politically savvy.
Stupid thing is driving with 3 hookers. You're a married guy with 3 hookers, with a blunt in your mouth.
Well,
assassinating people in a shopping center, men, women, children, and shooting people in the face. That's diabolical.
Yeah, but it was Gabby Gifford herself that was scared because of the rhetoric that was going on. A lot of it was created possibly by people on your side, the Tea Party people who then aligned...
Jack.
Jared Loeffner.
Wait a minute.
Stop, please.
There is not one shred of evidence that Jared Loeffner was influenced by any sort of talk radio or conservative anything.
Why was Gabby so interested in it then herself?
If Gabby was so interested in it, then her chief of staff should have had security at that location. So please don't go down that path. Jack, let's talk about something else. Do you believe that there's evil in the world?
Yeah.
Do you believe that there's good in the world?
Yeah.
Do you believe there's an equal balance of those two in the world? Do you think that we need to have evil to have good?
No, but I think you said, is it equal? No, I think there's a lot more good than there is evil.
Well, let's hope for that. So if you believe that
I don't hope for it. I think it's true.
Well, good. So let's say that we've got evil in the world. So evil exists. Evil permeates itself in situations, correct?
Right.
Do you think that evil can invest themselves into somebody's psyche?
Possibly, sure.
Okay.
Sure,
and
people can be motivated.
And with that, sometimes people do evil things because they have been permeated with evil.
That's true.
Okay. So let's stay on that level, because instead of trying to infuse that this was a blame to one person or one group in getting something into someone's head, let's just say that this young man, and there are other people that have been involved in evil. I mean, keep in mind that this is by no means the peak of gun violence in this country. Gun violence and mass killings peaked in 1934, the year that, by the way, that we're celebrating Dillinger Days. A guy that the reason why they caught him was because the firefighters, when they took his bags off the 3rd floor of the Hotel Congress, seemed extraordinarily heavy. And that's when they made the idea that because they were carrying the bags down, the firefighters carried the bags, Dillinger's bags, full of guns, which were automatic weapons. Not semi-automatic weapons, the guns that you want to talk about, weapons of mass destruction. So this is absolutely not something that is peaking today. We just have something that they didn't have in 1934. We've got Twitter, we've got Facebook, we've got instant communication. So when something happens in Sandy Hook, okay, then everybody knows about it immediately. Nobody knew about it immediately when people were being gunned down in 1934. So I just want you to please, if you can back the rhetoric down and we can have a conversation about what is good and what is bad, and maybe we can move some of these forward. If not, what's going to happen is that divisiveness in our community is going to continue.
Why is it your party, though? It seems to be that your party is the party that kind of hooked yourself up, and twice now you've lost 2 elections. You lost 2 elections, And everything that you guys have tried to do, you tried to put this president down. You tried to shut him down. And your best supporter is Fox News. And all you have to do is just watch Fox News, and they're your enemy. Because let me tell you something, guys. You guys are losing your party. Whether you know it or not, and whether you want to believe it or not, the Republican Party, as I know, is not the same party of Ronald Reagan.
And the Democratic Party is not the party of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. So I think you can go ahead.
I think we got the second greatest president in my lifetime since FDR is an Obama.
Now, why do you say that?
Because this guy has done more for the people than anybody else. And
let's just go down his list of achievements. Okay, right. Highest gas prices in history under President Obama. Most people in the poverty level. Most people on food stamps. Highest percentage of people. Highest percentage of.
Hey, Rick, you're good, but you're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong.
You're wrong. Who started the Depression? Who started this Great Depression?
He's of course going to the George Bush card here.
You bet your life I'm going to the George Bush.
Okay, so you're going to the George Bush card.
But absolutely. Who started the first Depression?
Okay, stop.
Hoover.
Stop. Because.
Wait a minute, Rick.
Let's go back. Let's pull some reality here. Let's pull some reality back here because things don't start. People, if you're going to be talking about the second greatest president of your lifetime, I'm assuming the first greatest president is Kennedy.
Hey, it's your party that's losing, not mine.
Is it? Well, right now, in the state of Arizona, which you live in,
yeah.
Okay, 100% of the state house is controlled by the Republicans. Okay,
Arizona's always been pretty much a Republican state.
We've got the governor, we've got the treasurer, we've got all the major people that are elected. And for the first time in history, all of the members of the Corporation Commission were elected as Republicans.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they pretty much dominated it through the years.
That's not true. Who was our previous governor, who's now the head of Homeland Security?
Napolitano.
And was she a Republican?
No, she was a Democrat.
Okay, she was a Democrat. Okay, that's right. And so, just as a reminder, that she had a very strong Democrat group aligning with her. But there's been a shift in our state, and now our state, because of the leadership that we currently have, our state has become in the top 5 states for business, top 5 states for growth. We have taken a $3 billion deficit and turned it into an $800 million surplus in our state, in our coffers. Did that come under Democratic leadership? And the answer is no, Jack. The answer is no. So I think that when you talk about leadership in the states, the governor houses, there's been more governors right now. There are more governors that are Republicans, more state houses that are Republican in the United States.
Because of the 2010, the midterm elections is where you got it. And that's when the rhetoric built up. And I think Obama was weak at that particular point. And he got surprised, and you guys gained all, but you had ALEC working for you. You had Amazon.com working. The U.S. Chamber was working against small business, believe it or not, and so they've taken over these states. And they did.
I hear these phrases like "taken over" and "enemy." You've used that word "enemy" and "taken over"
because of the Tea Party. Okay. The minute that Obama got elected, the Tea Party.
Are you even aware of where the genesis of the Tea Party as sort of a movement came from?
Well, I know they're almost out, and in Florida they're trying to change their name now.
I didn't ask you that. I was going to say, are you aware of what the genesis of the Tea Party came from, what the concept of it came from? Do you know it came from a Rick Santelli rant on CNBC one morning when he was looking at what was going on and said, we've got to have a grassroots movement that grows back up, just like the Tea Party did.
Right.
Okay, so what that came from? It came from an idea that we just need to get mobilized again for average folk out there that are not really happy of what was going on during that 2-year time frame from 2009 into 2010. So go ahead.
My thing is Tea Party. All right, it was the idea that you had people who thought the expansion of government, even under Bush, was too much. Bush didn't act like a Republican. He acted like a liberal Democrat on a lot of expansion of government. So now you say Barack Obama has done the most for people or whatever. So what? Hold on. What he's done, what I've seen, is a guy who has expanded the size of government. He wants to keep continuing the size of government. And there's one class of people that's going to pay for a whole bunch of other class of people that were not actually helping them, like give them the freedom to be better. Okay, it's like we're going to give you free handouts. Your grandkids, my kids, everyone's kids have this amazing amount of debt on their head, and there's not one solution out of the second best president in your lifetime to even fix that. All right, so please don't tell me that he's done the most for people by giving free candy that basically jacks up the federal debt. All right, that all of our kids have. What are we? $133,000 on every kid's head right now. Why is that? Why is that making him do the best for the people?
Why are you blaming him for that?
Why wouldn't I? He came in for hope and change, Jack.
And he's done it.
He didn't do any change.
He's done a lot of change. Your whole party was designed to make him a one-term president. And had you guys...
Oh, and your party wasn't to make George Bush a one-year president when he defeated John Kerry? Yes or no? Yes or no?
He was in his second term.
No, when he ran against...
When he first got one...
After his first...
When he first...
Don't tell me your party didn't want him to be a one-term president.
Who?
The Democrats. George Bush. They didn't want George Bush to be a one-term president either?
Yeah.
Well, crap.
But they didn't announce it, and they didn't come out and fight. But let me tell you,
you guys didn't filibuster in that first term on certain things.
In the first election, he got in by default. Let's face it. Our own Sandra Day O'Connor was probably the tipping point of the 7 people that they had in the Supreme Court that were all Republican appointees. But that wasn't good enough.
We're going to get into hanging chads about all the military ballots that Al Gore wanted disqualified because sorry you're being deployed someplace in the country and. We don't want to count yours either because they know it's counting against us.
You guys lost the election early that night.
Let me ask you a question, Jack.
Sure. Go ahead.
Does this discourse that you started off on in full you were completely committed to your discourse right when you sat in this chair? Yep. Do you think that that's moving the ball down the field? Do you think that that's moving us away from each other or closer together?
Let me digress just a little bit here.
Hold it, don't digress.
No, I want to digress. I want to guess.
Hold on. I'm just curious. I'd like to answer my question.
We're on a radio show, for God's sakes. I gotta do some commercials.
Oh, okay.
7:34 in the morning. It's a No Joe Jazz Thursday with Jazzy Jack Fitzgerald.
Boom, boom, boom.
Rick Sturtz, Christy Simone. Little Bags Groove by Oscar is always good for you. If you want to jump in, 790-2040. It's always a spicy tamale on a Jazzy Jack Thursday. Wake Up Tucson.
Wake up, Tucson. Talk with us now. 790-2040. Wake up, Tucson, with Joe Higgins and Christy Simone on 1030 KVOI.
Yeah, because...
Got to break up the boys here a little bit. It's the Wake Up Tucson show. Jack Fitzgerald, Rick Sturtz. I am Christy Simone. It's a No Joe Jazz Thursday. Joe's getting a big award from ASBA. It's going to be the size of a totem pole, giant eagle. Thanks, Joe, for all your work for small business. Let's go to the phones real quick. Let's go to Lori on line 2. She called 790-2040. Lori, what's up, woman?
Morning, guys. All right, I'm here to break this up.
Thank you.
Jack, you talk about our party. Well, why is it when anything happens, like Sandy Hook, like the Gabby Gifford shooting, your party wants to attack our constitutional rights and our First and Second Amendments? That's the first thing you guys want to do is shut us down. Gun control or the Second Amendment was not meant for hunting, was not meant for gun control.
We just had this conversation off air. Keep going.
It was meant for freedom, okay? And, yeah, back then they didn't have their closest thing was a musket. Well, that's great. They didn't also have the Internet and a lot of other things. We've progressed from there. Why are we not stopping selling cars to anyone who has a drunk driver in their family, because that drunk driver can use that car to go out and kill someone else? Over 10,000 people are killed every year by drunk drivers. But yet you don't see us stopping selling cars to someone who may have a brother or sister or a husband who's a drunk in the family, so that they can't use that same car. So your arguments are not logical. They're not based on logic. They're based on emotion. And
Lori, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in here real quick, and I just want to read the text of the Second Amendment, just so that the folks out there understand what it says. Now, this was the Bill of Rights, which everybody is always talking about, the right to do this, the right to do that. But these are the original first 10 amendments, which are called the Bill of Rights. Okay, these are an attachment to our Constitution, and it says very simply: a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, state is capitalized, and there's capitalized for a reason. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It just has moved itself forward to today. Don't confuse the emotion with facts.
Well, all I'm saying is you guys have lost 2 elections in a row. And with your attitude, you're going to lose another one right now.
You're talking about the election of the President of the United States.
You got it.
Because what I do know is that we did hold the House of Representatives for the first time when there was a swing for a
you
Democrat.
hold the House, but you lost seats too. You lost seats both ways.
Hold on, Jack. Let's go back to the phone. 790-2040 is the number. Let's go to Elizabeth on line 3. Elizabeth, welcome to the show. You're on with Chris, Rick, and Jack. What's up?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Mendez, and I have been a Democrat, long-life Democrat, but the last 2010, I voted all Republican, and this 2012, I voted all Republican also.
And why is that?
I'll tell you why. I lost my party a long time ago when we started pushing people and agendas for social issues. And the biggest one is abortion. The second one is when you vote God out of your platform 3 times, you're in trouble. And I don't want to be associated with anyone who thinks that they can run this country without God.
Elizabeth, thanks for the call, dear. 790-2040 is the number.
Welcome.
Jack?
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't, the abortion issue has been settled by the Supreme Court. It hasn't been changed yet. And while I'm against abortion, and I'm totally against abortion, and I'm a Catholic, and I was raised Catholic, and I would agree with her on that issue, but that's not the issue that we're facing today. Right now, let's just take a look at what's going on in the Congress today. You people, and the Sandy Hook deal, 179 Republicans voted against their fellow man. 49 Republicans voted with him to get the $50 billion passed, but it took how many
Sandy
months?
Hook?
No, he's talking about Hurricane Sandy.
Hurricane Sandy. You said Sandy Hook is where the shooting happened.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
And Hurricane Sandy because
Sandy was Sandy both ways.
40% of the $50 billion had to do with pork that was going out to different.
You mean the Smithsonian?
Yeah, the constitutional districts. We're putting a new roof on the Smithsonian because of
the other day when they got it settled, though, still in all, it took 49 Republicans to go over to the Democrats to help their fellow man.
That's again. You're using. No, Jack. You're using these big.
It wasn't voted on originally. Rick, there was pork in there. Okay.
Right. Well,
if you're going to help your fellow man, what does the roof on the Smithsonian have to do with that, Jack? So where is your anger towards the people who wrote the bill, who attached this crap on it that had nothing to do with helping their fellow man?
I don't know who wrote the bill.
I don't care if you don't know. Find out. You knew that 49 Republicans had to cross over to do this, and you guys didn't help your fellow man. So where's your anger on the person who wrote the bill,
Chris,
who put this pork crap in it, so they can hold it? They're taking advantage of the plight of the people in New York and New Jersey to get pork into it. Yes or no? Yes or no?
I don't know what you're. You lost.
Rick just told you that there were people who didn't vote for it because there was pork attached to it, like putting in. There was also some other stuff, like on the other side of the country, that had nothing to do with the Smithsonian.
There was stuff in Alaska.
Alaska. That's right, Alaska. All right. So I had pork in there for Alaska and the Smithsonian, and people said, "Why are we voting for this? Are you why? If I'm going to help, you're going to ask me to help my fellow man, and you want to put this on me because there's pressure. You want to take care of your fellow man." At the same time, you put pork on it. Is there a little outrage from you on that? Yes or no?
No, because I don't know what the pork was. All I know
just told you what the pork was, dude.
I'll give you two. I'll give you 2 little easy ones. If 100. Let me ask you this question: do you believe that the Republicans, all the Republicans in Congress, or the majority of them, would have voted for it if 100% of the bill that was put in front of them would have been money going to help the folks in that were affected by Hurricane Sandy? Yes or no?
No. On the Republican side, no.
You think that the
Boehner can't even control his party.
So you're thinking that the Republicans are so heartless that they would not take resources from the federal government specifically designed to help the victims of Hurricane Sandy?
No.
You do? Wow. You see, therein lies the disconnect that you have with the reality of what happens in the country.
Let me state something,
because
Rick.
you're missing a really big
missing the point, Rick. You guys are losing elections.
No, we lost the presidential election.
You lost 2 elections. In this last election, you lost people in the House, and we gained in the Senate. So, you're losing all the way around, and right now you've got people all over the...
So, Jack, your view of this is let's borrow as much money as we possibly can and spread it around to as many people as we can and build government up as big as we can and crush small business. And crush business because...
Hold on. We're opening up a whole other can of worms here. I got to go pay bills. One more commercial break, 7:48 in the morning. Jack Fitzgerald, Rick Sturtz, Christy Simone. It's a No Joe Jazz Thursday. It's it's always a little spicy tamale when Jack's here. I always appreciate when Jack comes in. So, Wake Up Tucson, 1030 KVOI. La Voz.
This is Bill Buckmaster, the new chair of the Pima County Democratic Party, Thursday at noon on KVOI AM 1030, Tucson's intelligent voice.
Live and local talk, mornings, noon, and afternoons, only on Tucson's live and local voice, 1030 KVOI.
Hey, welcome back to No Joe Jazz Thursday. Thanks to Jack Fitzgerald for coming in. Thanks for Rick Sturtz for filling in for Joey today.
My pleasure.
Now we got 3 phone calls. We're going to try to get through them fast, and then we'll have a little more time maybe at the end to hammer on each other. 790. Let's go to Wanda on line 2. Wanda, you're on with Chris, Rick, and Jack. What's up?
Hi. Yes, I think what the problem is we have our Constitution that makes us free people. But unfortunately, there are 2 types of people: those who like to be ruled over and dictated to and need a dictator or a king, and the other people, like you and I, they want to be free and they want to run their own lives, and they refuse to be slaves and ruled over. Now, I think people no longer understand why the Constitution is what it is. It's a shield against absolute rulers. And for some reason or other, we've grown up decades of young people who no longer understand the Constitution. And this is what we're hearing this morning, I think.
All right, Wanda, thanks for the call, dear.
Let me make a statement that I feel is important. And the thing that drives me is when everybody says our government this and our government that. We are the government. We are a government of, by, and for we the people, not corporations. And I don't think you'll disagree with me on that, Rick.
No, well, okay. Not if you have 23 executive
orders. And the
orders.
Democrats have always been basically for the people, not for the corporations. And this election scared the hell out of me, and that's when I had my own radio station, because I thought if we'd have lost the election, we would have lost it to the likes of corporate America.
Let me ask you a question.
Corporate America is got these lobbyists, they pay for them, and then they get these. And the problem is, Ronald Reagan made a statement one time, and I think you'll agree with me. And he said the problem with government is the government. Reagan said that.
Right.
And when I stop and think of it, I say, I don't like to say that because they're talking like the government is something in abstract, and yet he's right. We are the government. We have the power. We are a representative government. We hire these people, and then we forget all about them. Corporate America don't forget about them. They take them, and they buy them to lobby for them.
Now, does corporate America only buy Republicans?
Yeah.
That's the question. Very simple. Yes or no?
I would say probably on the most side. No, they buy both sides.
They buy both sides.
They buy both sides wherever they can.
Jack, that is the most honest statement that you said this morning.
No. They buy both sides, but the problem is...
Oh, no, you can stop right there. I'm very satisfied with that statement.
Whose fault is that?
It's
George Bush, probably.
No, it's we the people's fault.
You bet your life.
It's we the people. We've allowed it to happen.
We did not follow up on them. In other words, the representatives of us, they're supposed to be representing us, we do not hold their feet to the
keep
fire.
in mind that what's one of the largest corporations in the world that is based out of the United States? General Electric, right? You're familiar with You know who Jeremy Immelt is, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, you know that he is the number one advisor to President Barack Obama. He wasn't in the inner circle of George Bush, who you've got such great disdain for.
How much income taxes?
How about Rupert Murdoch?
0. Let's not go to Fox News and Rupert Murdoch, because I'm going to go to everybody else.
Hold on, I got calls to get through.
We're going to go through those.
You guys can beat each other up all day long. Let's go to Brendan on line 4. Brendan, you're on with Chris, Joe, and Jack. Rick, and Jack. Sorry.
Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, morning.
I want to start off by saying I grew up as the youngest of 6 Irish Catholic Milwaukee Democrats.
Oh, don't you know they're here?
I got my eyeful and experience with Democrats, and I have to say, Jack, you're true to form. You cannot be confused by facts. I'll tell you, as soon as anyone corners a Democrat with actual empirical evidence or facts, they either feign ignorance or they change the subject. That's what Jack has done every time. And it's my whole family does the same thing, and I won't even talk to them anymore because they just waste my time. And this is my family, and this is what's happening in the whole country. And you know what? Until people learn to actually face the truth, and that comes down to religion too. But if you're just going to play a political position for your own convenience or because you're just too ashamed that it's like the national debt. It's like you have a debt of cause and effect, and you can't face it because you've been wrong so long. Well, if we're going to have to face it, you're going to have to face your own cause and effect eventually. That's all I have to say.
Brendan, thanks for the call, buddy. 790-2040 is the number. Let's go to Ann on line 3. Ann, what's going on, woman?
Good morning, guys.
Hey.
Yes, our Constitution does not say that our tax dollars are to go to help people. That's a charitable thing that we do neighbor to neighbor, and my tax dollars should not be going to play favorites with who can help those people rebuild their homes. Only the union guys. There are lots of other good people who work who do not belong to the union. It's a free country. And the reason we lost the elections was mainly because of the media and the other party that painted us as horrible, awful, uncaring people. And the truth is, there are studies that show that Republicans give more to charity than Democrats do. That's all I have to say. Bye.
Thank you, Ann. Well, I would say we lost the election, one, because Mitt Romney in the end was not a great candidate to bring it home in relation to this. We also forgot that there was 16 swing districts that in various states that we didn't do ground game on.
Yeah.
Thing I've never tried to do, and I think none of us can do in public office, is suggest that because somebody doesn't agree with me, that they're victims or they're unpatriotic.
The problem is that the way Bush has done it over the last 8 years is to take out a credit card from the Bank of China so that we now have over $9 trillion of debt. That's irresponsible. It's unpatriotic.